SDA Lesson Study. Wednesday, November 9, 2022. Witnesses of the Risen Christ. Read John 20 verses 11 to 29 and 1 Corinthians 15 verses 5 to 8. How did the disciples react when they first met the risen Christ? The two angels at the empty tomb told Mary Magdalene and some other women that Jesus had risen. But soon Jesus himself appeared to them, and they worshipped him. He appeared also to Peter and to the two disciples on their way to Emmaus, whose hearts were burning while he was speaking to them. When Jesus came into the upper room, the disciples were initially terrified and frightened, but then filled with joy and marveled at what happened. A week later Jesus came again into the same room without opening the doors, and then even Thomas believed in his resurrection. During the 40 days between his resurrection and his ascension, Jesus was seen by over 500 brethren at once and by James. Jesus joined some disciples at the shore of the Sea of Galilee and had breakfast with them, followed by a talk with Peter. There might have been other appearances of Jesus before his final one at his ascension. Paul considered himself also an eyewitness to the risen Christ, who appeared to him on the road to Damascus. Compare with. When the other disciples first told the absent Thomas that they had seen the risen Lord, he reacted, "Unless I see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe." A week later, when Jesus reappeared to the disciples, now with Thomas among them, Jesus said to him, "Reach your finger here, and look at my hands, and reach your hand here, and put it into my side. Do not be unbelieving, but believing." Then Thomas confessed, "My Lord and my God." And Jesus added, "Thomas, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." Even if you have not seen for yourself the resurrected Christ, what other reasons do you have for your faith in Jesus? Bible verses. John 20 verses 11 to 29. Mary Magdalene sees the risen Lord. 11. But Mary stood outside by the tomb weeping, and as she wept she stooped down and looked into the tomb. 12. And she saw two angels in white sitting, one at the head and the other at the feet, where the body of Jesus had lain. 13. Then they said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" She said to them, "Because they have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him." 14. Now when she had said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, and did not know that it was Jesus. 15. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you seeking?" She, supposing him to be the gardener, said to him, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." 16. Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned and said to him, "Rabboni," which is to say, Teacher. 17. Jesus said to her, "Do not cling to me, for I have not yet ascended to my Father, but go to my brethren and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, and to my God and your God." 18. Mary Magdalene came and told the disciples that she had seen the Lord, and that he had spoken these things to her. The apostles commissioned. 19. Then, the same day at evening, being the first day of the week, when the doors were shut where the disciples were assembled, for fear of the Jews, Jesus came and stood in the midst, and said to them, "Peace be with you." 20. When he had said this, he showed them his hands and his side. Then the disciples were glad when they saw the Lord. 21. So Jesus said to them again, "Peace to you. As the Father has sent me, I also send you." 22. And when he had said this, he breathed on them, and said to them, "Receive the Holy Spirit." 23. If you forgive the sins of any, they are forgiven them; if you retain the sins of any, they are retained. Seeing and believing. 24. Now Thomas, called the twin, one of the 12, was not with them when Jesus came. 25. The other disciples therefore said to him, "We have seen the Lord." So he said to them, Unless I see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe. 26. And after 8 days his disciples were again inside, and Thomas with them. Jesus came, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst, and said, Peace to you. 27. Then he said to Thomas, Reach your finger here, and look at my hands, and reach your hand here, and put it into my side. Do not be unbelieving, but believing. 28. And Thomas answered and said to him, My Lord and my God. 29. Jesus said to him, Thomas, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. 1 Corinthians 15 verses 5 to 8. 5. And that he was seen by Cephas, then by the 12. 6. After that he was seen by over 500 brethren at once, of whom the greater part remain to the present, but some have fallen asleep. 7. After that he was seen by James, then by all the apostles. 8. Then last of all he was seen by me also, as by one born out of due time.